Hey everybody, it's Paul with CDA. Let's go ahead and get started with today's video. And today's video, what we're going to do is we're going to cover what we call the parts request dashboard. Now this is the first of many videos that we're going to go ahead and create for you. This particular video is a very brief overview and just gives you a high-level view of all that you can do for the parts request dashboard. So let's go ahead and get started. The parts request dashboard is an enterprise feature. Most of our customers that have 10 technicians or more, they tend to use the enterprise function. One of the reasons why is because of the parts request dashboard, which once you see this, you'll understand why they do that. But let's go ahead and show you how to implement it once you're using our software. So what you'll do is you'll go to the utilities menu. You're going to go down the system settings. And what you're going to want to do over here on the right hand side, it says I want to use the parts request dashboard. You want to check this, saying that you want to use the dashboard when you order a part. Then you check this button if you want to use it both for desktop and mobile. If you don't check this button, it'll just be used for your mobile users. Most of all of our customers use both checkboxes. So I just wanted to point that out. What we're going to do is we're just going to talk about it from left to right, top to bottom, and we'll go over all the features at a very high level. So what we're saying is, hey, show me the parts that I have that I need to either order, have already been ordered, have been canceled, or all of them. So this is the date range. You can check it here. Most parts employees, the first thing they do is when they come in here, they go to pending, they hit today, and this will show them what parts need to be ordered today. So that's generally what a parts person will do. They'll just go to today. So I just want to point that out. You can also enter in multiple date ranges if you want, and you can just go back and forth by your days as well. You can filter by either pending, processed, canceled, or all of them. So you just click on each one of these and then it'll just tell you what you're looking for within this filtered date range over here. I'm going to go ahead and leave it on process just because we're going to look at some right click stuff in a little bit. You can also filter by tech. So if I want to filter by tech, I can filter by tech. I can also filter by in-house substatus. So if you know the first thing you want your team to take care of is something in the 500 series, what you'll do is you'll change it to that substatus as well, and then you can order those. So this is just allows you to order or to filter, again, by tech or substatus. You can also do it by the part number. If we had a part number in here, I can just paste it. It'll show it up. And we can even filter by claim numbers. We can say, hey, only show me these claims in this view. So that allows you to do that as well. I'm briefly going to point over here, and this is the inventory location. There will be another advanced video on how to do and how to use this area for inventory locations. I won't be covering it today. Only thing I want to show you is that the requested inventory, you always have it here. And the reason why that's going to be important is because when you're going to order the part and you want to order it from the vendor, because you want to know you have one vendor but they ship to multiple locations. If your company does ship parts to multiple locations, you'll want to look here so you know, this is for a city called Concord. So I'm going to say reliable, and I want them to ship it, the vendor to be reliable that ships to the Concord location. Or you may have another one where it changes to a Manteca location. So this is a great feature which you will become used to because it'll tell you where you're ordering your parts. Again, in an advanced video, I'll show you how you can then use this area to know where to ship your parts as well when you're shipping maybe for warehouses or multiple techs. We'll cover that in another video. And then in here you can even see where the requested group is for zones within CDA software. So these two areas are pretty important and provide a wealth of knowledge on where you're ordering your parts. So now let's just go ahead and look at all these columns. You can sort through the columns, so we can do the date, we can do the tech, the quantity, the part number, the description. We could do it by brand. We can even do it by model, what our coverage is. If you want to do coverage, you can filter by coverage and just filter it that way. You can do job description, or the in-house substatus, the billing code, your vendor code, your claim number, who your customer is, their last name, was it ordered or not. So notice here we're on process, so everything's going to have an X. If I go to pending, you'll notice it hasn't been ordered and it doesn't have a PO. So I'm going to go back to processed. Notice it has ordered and it has a PO. So I want to point that out. Also, over here where it says allocated, awaiting pickup, ship the technician, also received by tech and request canceled. These 4 columns we won't be going over today. That has to do with the parts pick, and I will have another video that explains this advanced feature for these 4 columns. And again, like I keep mentioning, there'll be another video for this advanced feature as well. So just look in the description of this video and you'll see how to get to that advanced feature. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go to pending. Again, you'll notice quite a few parts need to be ordered still. But for what we're going to do now for our videos, let's go ahead and let's order some parts. All right, everybody, so let's go ahead and order 2 parts for our demo and see how they work in conjunction with the parts dashboard. So I'm going to click on the parts tab. I'm going to go ahead and say, hey, I want to add a part. And then what it's going to do is we're going to fill out this information. One thing I want to point out though, the main area that you're going to focus on when you first order your part is what active inventory do I want this part to be allocated to or to come from. And so it's the first decision you're going to make for our video. And for demos, we're just going to say, hey, we want this to go to a city called Con, and then we're just going to take it from there. So we're going to say, hey, I want 1 part. This is the part I want. Now watch what's going to happen. I'm going to hit tab. It's automatically going to come up and say, hey, it's not in your inventory. What do you want to do? We're going to say, for the purpose of our video and to keep things pretty simple, we're just going to say, hey, just add it to the dashboard. We're going to order the part. It's going to ship to headquarters, and then we're going to install it. So we're just going to default, because we're using the parts dashboard, we default all parts ordering to the dashboard. And all we're going to do is hit the enter key or hit submit. And what that does is it adds the part. What it also did, which you can't see in the background, is it also added a tracking information to this job. So we ordered this part, we added tracking information for the part so we can track it, the whole life cycle of the part, and it's added to the dashboard. So there's 1 part, and let's go ahead and add 1 more part so we can get 2 parts added onto our demo. Again, we're going to pay attention. The first thing you want to teach your team is they want to pay attention to the active inventory that they're ordering it for. They're then going to want to say the quantity. They're then going to pick the part. As soon as they tab out, the part gets added to the dashboard, or if there's availability to other locations, which again will be an advanced video, you could select it from here, but this is a demo and we're just trying to move along quickly. So we're just going to say add it. What you're not seeing and what was just done is that tracking was enabled and added for this part. So again, we're going to track this part through the life cycle with tracking information. So we're going to say okay. So now we just ordered 2 parts. So now we're going to go down to the dashboard and we're going to say today. And lo and behold, I made this a priority claim. So my name is in purple, which means it's a priority. I ordered 2 agitators for this particular customer. And now what I want to do is I want to order them. What I'm going to do for our demo is we're just going to right click and I'm going to show you the options that are available. We could say edit loan, so I could update the part number, the description, or the coverage. I can say add a vendor. So what we're going to do, we'll do that in a moment. We'll add the vendor so we know how to order it, from where and for whom, through the PO. Then we can also say edit substatus. So let's say this is in a substatus. We can change it if we want to. We can display the work order. We can display the purchase order. So if I was on the processed, I could hover here and I could say, hey, show me the purchase order for this particular part that I ordered, or we could say order now is what we're going to do. So I'm going to go over here to pending. I'm on today, and what we're going to do is we're going to order these two parts on a new PO. So we're just going to highlight these two parts. We're going to say add a vendor. So we don't know who the vendor is. If we did know who the vendor was, we would add it. But we're going to go, when we were ordering the parts, but we're going to go ahead and just add the vendor here because I want you to see it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the parts that I want to order for this vendor. And I want them to be on the same PO. So I'm just going to say order now. And what it's going to do is it's going to prompt me for each part. And what I'm going to do, just for the sake of the demo, I'm just going to quickly go through this. I'm just going to say OK. And then I'm going to say create a new PO for our demo purposes. And we're going to say OK. And so what happened is we ordered those two parts. You can see that they were ordered. And what I did is one was ordered on the PO. And then I assigned another one to be ordered on a different PO. Of course, I could have selected the same one, but I just wanted you to see that you can continue to add POs or have them, the parts get ordered on the same PO. So I just wanted to point that out to you. What we're going to do is we're just going to go back to all requested. And what we can see is for today, we had a total of 10 parts. 4 were processed, 5 were priority, and 6 are still pending. And so we'll go back to here. We're going to go and change the date range, and we're just going to refresh. And we're just going to use this bottom area, which is really going to help you throughout the day, both for the managers and for the parts employees on what needs to be done for ordering the parts for that day. So this will conclude our video for how to use the parts request dashboard.